Hey everyone, welcome back. This went on for over the course of almost 4 years. And I'm sorry if I jump around in the story, but there's just so much that happened. So it all started with a message that I got when I was 18. I'm going to use this real name because this man is an absolute garbage human being. But I got a message from a man named David Clark on Facebook with a smiley face. I used to have a crush on him when I was a 15-year-old girl, but he just turned 19 at the time. And he quickly quit talking to me when he found out how young I was. I messaged him back innocently and in a friendly way because I had a boyfriend at the time. It was pretty persistent in trying to get me to hang out with him and drink with him. Well, some time went on and I have been, so I broke up with my boyfriend after coming to Ruiz. He had been on Facebook. So I just signed a message David Clark back. We talked for a little bit over the next 2 weeks or so. And talking slowly turned into 4-day, turned into a relationship. No, I was living in Casper, Wyoming at the time. And he had planned to come and get me and bring me back to Rock Springs, Wyoming, where I lived previously. Hey, planned on picking me up the next day. And I was fairly excited. But after getting off the phone with him, couldn't explain it. Something was wrong, but now I just turned 19 and I was such a dumb kid. The whole drive back seemed to be going really well. We were laughing, flirting, and having a good time. But when we got back to his house, thanks to her really weird turn, he started showing me some gory videos online. I have no idea why, as I obviously don't enjoy things like that. And I never insinuated that I did. It was definitely weird for that. I figured I'd still give him a chance for some reason. I know. Like I said previously, it was a dumb kid. Well, the first month together, it was fairly nice and we were doing pretty solid. We'd gotten the place together and we were both warming on how to live with each other and getting to know each other more. And plus, finally got a place with them because I didn't really have anywhere else to stay with at the time. But after school time passed, it started to become very me to me that he wanted to start swinging with me. Bon, I do want to and try new things. So I agree. So pretty much everything, even in that aspect, seeing pretty normal for a little while. But David increasingly became more and more mean as time passed. And historic, showing some pretty weird tendency. Like I woke up and I caught him going through my phone. And as soon as he noticed I was away, he quickly hid it. Which was really weird because they had my passcode and he knew we could go through my phone whenever I wanted. But the thing was account, my Instagram, and email, my email. How do I realize this? Just because I fall out of the corner of my eye and screw into these pictures. And hey, scroll past a bunch of pictures that I hadn't sent to him. I asked how I got those, and he just said, oh, remember that time you used my phone to log into your email of my email. But I later realized what he really did was going to my phone and changed all of my passwords so he could get into all of my accounts and see everything I was doing. More time passed. I didn't even think it was possible, but he got more and more cruel every day. He would pick a fight with me about everything. It got to the point that I was scared to fuck up even in the smallest way. I was literally walking on eggshells every moment I wasn't in the mood for sex. And he literally wanted it every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And he would also get mad if I wasn't in the to sleep with other people. Like if our friends came over and he was trying to initiate sex and I wasn't in the mood for it and just wanted to hang out with them and no longer had a roommate, the abuse became more intense. I remember one particular night we were out 5 smoking a cigarette, and the strong girl was walking past her house going home from the bar. We have been drinking too. And she seems really friendly, so we decided to invite her in and she joined us. We had really been on the rocks lately. I was trying my hardest to make him happy. So I asked if he was interested. Well, he said, yeah. So I started recording with her. And I ended up getting along really well. To the point that nothing turned sexual but more talking as friends. David was quiet the whole night when the sun finally came up within Rover home. And I'm not even kidding. The moment she got out of the car, David wanted screaming at me about how I left him out and how I was a shitty fiancé. I always shut down when he yelled at me. I tried arguing with him in the past, but he had too much of a mean streak that there was no reasoning with him. He has screamed to me from Aiden in the morning until well into the night. This would go on every single day for 3 years. But go away. The fight started getting worse. Whenever I would try to go smoke from being stressed out during an argument, dude ripped the pack of smoke right out of my hand. Then he picked up the pace a little bit. We had been arguing in the kitchen, and he shoved me at damp point. I was so sick of letting him push me around that I stood my ground, and I didn't shut down. That time screamed in my face. When I started cry, he got up and told me that he needed to leave because he had never put his hands on a woman before. Fine, we ended up working things out. Thanks, sin peaceful for a little while. But it didn't last long. We ended up having another argument, and during that argument, he had pulled a gun out. I remember putting my hand up and just say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, calm down," over and over again, and put the gun to his head, acting like he was going to pull the trigger. And then he put the gun in his mouth. Now, I do want to say that I had tried leaving a few times previously, but I always got dragged back. I can do this bullshit. And I was honestly just really scared to leave. I desperately wanted to leave them, but now after I'm pulling out his gone, I realized just how unstable he really was, and I had no idea where to even begin. He was still incessantly washing my account, any messages, so I couldn't tell anyone about what was going on. Well, during the time when things were getting really bad, I met my now husband, and of course, David was saying great. I had told my husband who walk okay, then I wanted to play some Call of Duty with him, as we have story gaming together and have a gaming headset at the time. So we just started to FaceTime so we could still communicate when gaming. Well, David was at work. And surely after we started gaming, I know that it's okay developing feelings for him. The only time that I felt some kind of happiness was whenever I was talking to Kay, but again I was really terrified to leave David. He was very well known in that town, and my fear got the best of me. I felt like he would find me and shoot in my house if I left, and I didn't want to put any of my family or friends in danger by staying with him. Well, I know David could sense that I was falling out of love with him because I started sticking up for myself more. I tried to leave multiple times already to no avail, but the sex thing was still an issue, or even touch me. Did it to keep him happy and to keep us from fighting. While one night I wasn't really in the mood, but he wanted to have sex. I had actually let him become so aggressive that it was painful. I kept telling him that I didn't like it and that it hurt. And my even stronger cry, "Hey, think more excited by death." I felt so broken afterward. And that's when I knew something shortly was going to happen to me. And I was really scared that this was going to get worse until the pointing into the killing me. Hey, it even asked me about what happened to me in previous falls as a way for him to get in the mood. If you know what I mean. I knew something was off and I was trying to figure out how to get outside play. Going to the Toms wasn't an option because we only shared one vehicle. And that was honestly terrified of going to the police. And my didn't really know what I would tell them anyway if I did. Well, fast forward to a week after 23rd birthday in 2021. I got a call from my coworker saying that David had just been arrested and to hide all of my weed. So I quickly ran outside in the freezing cold to hide all of our paraphernalia. When I was then approached by 3 men in hoodie, they said my name, my person. I said, "Yeah." Well, they said that they had just arrested my fiancée on 14 counts of child pornography. I felt sick. The next day, I had to go in to meet with the detectives and finally forms for the 2 gaming councils, so they come to state it, and when they told me in green detail what they've been doing, including talking and exchanging photos with underage girl in my life, and I asked them why the fuck he would do it, and what the fuck was wrong with him. He had the audacity to ask me to stay away from me, get out of prison, especially after what had happened to me as parents, and an absolving with him forcing me to return our car that I helped pay for. And they told the police I was harassing him. They actually wanted me to stay with him. I had a severe mental breakdown to the point that I needed medication to help me sleep and to help me stop crying. I later found out from her friend his dad is in the same gym as David, that he told David I was married and pregnant. And this motherfucker actually had the nerve to say fuck that bitch. She was cheating on me anyway, which I wasn't, but I honestly should have. Is article going public on Sweetwater now? And everyone soon came to find out what a sick, twisted monster he really is. So to anyone in a talk-to relationship, listen to your gut. Your breakup was cheap. It's going to destroy you. You need to leave them. Promise me. That was the most intense thing I've ever experienced. I was having a good time until he started bombarding me. And then it really turned bad very quickly. My body knew something was wrong. Falling in love with someone else. And very deeply. And spoiler alert, we're now together and married, and he's the father to my amazing baby. But at the time I was just so scared to leave G. But during an argument, he actually pulled out a firearm and he already put his hands on me, and this wasn't just a mental thing. It was lying. My body was repulsed by him. I physically felt ill when he was close to me. I knew it wasn't just because of the fighting too, because we had farmed for 3 years and I had no problem before being affectionate with him. Again, my body was telling me there's something was wrong. The way we broke up was not pretty. Here's what things were only take a turn for the worse. Hey, got arrested for viewing images and videos of children being sexually assaulted. I had a complete mental breakdown, work all the time. All the answers can tumbling down and I can barely function. I couldn't believe it was real. I didn't really know if this ghost were evil or just trying to warn me that something was wrong. Here's the crazy thing. I've only had 2 paranoid experiences since my husband and I have been together. I remember sitting up one way night with my stepson, and on the 9th stand right next to me Something fell down. And at the same exact moment it fell shadow fly out from behind that, so I know I wasn't going crazy. The last one was when my husband was in the shower. And I heard someone call out. I shrugged it off. Until my husband got out of the shower, said hey really loudly. And he just said, but nothing else has happened since. I don't know if the ghosts were checking on me or not. I know that's so silly to say, but I never got a bad feeling during his last two events. The other crazy thing is since she has been in prison and since we've broken up, my sleep paralysis episodes have totally, I don't know, these are too crazy to try to rationalize them. It's really hard to dismiss me that. Hey everyone, that's about it for today's story. Dear friends, thank you for staying with us until the end of this video. Have a good night.